Hello, welcome back to another video. It's your boy Marshy Spider. In today's video, I'm going to be showing y'all how exactly to create an outside of a starter base, which will be the one right behind me. And mind you, like always, videos like this are designed entirely for beginners and for people who don't really know how exactly to build. And I will be showing you guys a few life hacks, but also some build techniques which I've learned after years and years of building inside of this blocky game. But if you guys enjoy this kind of content, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe. That lets me know you guys would like to see more of this content, which I put out. Anyways, onward into today's video. And also before I get started on this build, just a little heads up that this build is going to be very heavy in spruce as well as stone. So if you don't have those materials, I highly recommend getting those materials, but this house can be created with any kind of build palette. So feel free to experiment. And also if you're struggling with block palettes, I also have a video which you can watch right here. Anyways, let's get to it. So for the entryway, it's going to be blocks that are 3 high right here. They're going to leave 2 for the entryway. So 2, you're going to skip 2 and then you're going to place a post that is 3 high and then you're going to do this. So a few blocks right there and then you're going to do block right there. And doing this gives it a little bit of a foundation. And then afterwards, you're going to place some fences along the perimeter of here as well as a few fences right there. And we're going to go out 4. So right here is going to be a 4x4 section and we're going to bring this spruce along here, stop right there, and we're going to put a post going up, as well as a side right here. And then we're going to put just a line of posts right here. And then after that, we're going to lay a line of fences going around the perimeters. And then over here, we're going to go a total of 6 up. So we already have 2, so 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to bring that across, as well as 6 right here. And now, mind you, counting out loud or counting to yourself is totally okay. So just try to go slow and try to take your time, because practice does make perfect. And then after that, we're going to make these go a little bit higher. And then we're going to put a staircase right there. And then we're going to put a staircase and staircase. And then we're going to put a slabs right there. So 2 slabs on each side. And then we're going to put a temporary block and then we'll put a slab. So it's going to look like this for both sides. And then afterwards, we are going to put a staircase on this slab. Then afterwards, we are going to pull this up so that it's even with the staircase. And then afterwards, we're going to take our spruce slabs and then create a small arch. And for the continuation of the roof, we're going to just continue what we've been doing. And we're going to put blocks around here. And then afterwards, we're just going to go straight until we hit this board right here. To where we're going to put just a few slabs just to kind of give it that little bit of a small incline going up. And now that the roof is out of the way, we're going to just create ourselves a small little area for a window and also a door to set. So there we have it. And what I tend to do is I tend to just add stairs because it kind of gives that little bit of depth of feel and kind of gives a little bit of depth to the build. So let's continue on with the roof a little bit, because roofs are actually where I struggle with the most. So let's do that. All right, so for this roof line, it's going to be 5 blocks tall and we're going to extend them 6 blocks. So what you're going to want to do is place a stair and then break your temporary blocks. And then you're going to do, I believe, 1 more. And then after that, we're going to make a temporary block and we're going to put a slab. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to continue what exactly we've done on that side over to this side. And then afterwards, we're just going to break these temporary blocks. I would say that looks pretty simple. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to extend all this over until we hit our 6th block. So let me do that really fast. Please keep in mind that I will definitely be doing a future video all about roof lines as well as the interior of this build. So make sure that you're subscribed if you would like to see that one. And also, if you're liking the video, make sure to leave a like. That lets me know whether or not you enjoy this video or not, which I enjoy very much making these for y'all. All right, and then afterwards, we're going to step back and see if we like that. So I would say that matches pretty well. We're going to do the remainder of the frame of the build. This goes 7 blocks out. So we're going to do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then afterwards, we're going to do that little leg just to give us a little bit of measurement so that it's easier for us. So we're going to bring that side over and then we're going to fill this in. By filling this in, I mean just adding the frame, because over here, we actually have a window and we want to keep this window. And then on this one right here, this is actually 5 blocks out. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to put another leg. You're probably asking, why exactly do we add these legs? I tend to just use them just as a sense of a foundation. Afterwards, I just tend to put oak fences around them. Or I tend to do little stones, but I feel like for this build, it needs a little bit more lighter tint of brown, so I'm going to use just a little bit of the oak stairs. And then we're going to fill this one in. And we're going to leave space for a window. There we go. So this is going to be entirely 10 blocks out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Or what you can do is just line yourself up with the roof line, which we're lined up perfectly. So we're going to put another leg right there, and we're going to put a bunch of stairs. But over here, there's actually a jet out. So let's add that really fast because it looks like this goes 3 and then this goes 3. So it's perfectly even. So let's add that really fast to the build because chimneys are always pretty cool. All right, there we go. It's room for a chimney. So we're just going to fill this entirely in by going up. And now mind you, you definitely don't have to add a chimney. I'm just adding a chimney just because I think it looks really cool. Then afterwards, we're going to cap it off with a little bit of stone. But I'll finish that after I'm done entirely with the exterior of the build. So let's continue with this a little bit. And as I go up, I'm just looking at where this roof starts and then I'm stopping because I want everything to look all together and be kind of, I guess, level is the word. After done with this side, we're going to go just straight across and we're going to make sure that we're even with this side. Because having a very odd looking house, it's good if you want an odd looking house, but for the sake of this, we kind of want it to look decently well. So this is the frame. What we're going to do is we're going to actually start over here because this side's kind of confusing. So we're going to do a row and then we're going to leave this small section, which is going to be 3 by 2 for a window. And then afterwards, we are going to put this and we're going to put a line of 5 things of grass. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're going to put a log right there. And then we're going to put a log going up. And then afterwards, we're going to fill this in with spruce planks. And afterwards, we're going to do a line of just oak fences going up. And then we're going to also add some trapdoors right here, like so. And then as far as the flowers, you can pick any kind of flower you want, but inside of here, there's actually a line of stairs. So we're going to incorporate that to give a little bit of that slopiness. And afterwards, we're going to add a line of these spruce planks and we're going to add just our glass. And for right now, I'm just going to add just basic white as well as some blue stained because adding a little bit of color looks really good. And as far as this, we're going to do the same exact thing. And then for over here, we're just going to fill this in because sadly enough, this area lacks detail because this is actually going to be where the storage room is going to be in this little base. And there you have it. And then going up, we're going to jet some of these out to give that little bit of balcony feel. As we slowly go up, we're going to add just some fences so that it looks more like a balcony. And then as we go in, we're going to just do a little line of posts to give us a little bit of head start when we actually finish this roof line, because this roof line is very simple, but it has a lot of confusing components. So we're going to go 5 outs, and then we're going to just continue with the roof line. And like I said before, roofs can be very confusing, so please take your time. If you're having issues, feel free to rewind the video a little bit or to ask a question inside of the comment section. And as far as roofs go, they can be quite confusing, so I highly recommend just using this roof line right here. And this roof line here is just 1 block up. This roof line is basically just block, 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 block. And now you can definitely go way more complex, but I would highly recommend if you're a starter at Minecraft just to stick with something like this because it's very simple. So, but yeah, I will definitely be doing a small guide on roofs on a later video just because roofs are very complicated. Just experiment a little bit with roofs and what you actually enjoy and you'll be good. And also, if you make mistakes, you can always feel free to correct yourself. I made a mistake here because the blocks were actually off. The side was 5 and it wasn't 6, so I had to correct it So making mistakes is how we all learn, so feel free to make a lot of mistakes because I make a lot of mistakes constantly and this is how we learn. So yeah, time to do this section of the roof, and mind you, this section of the roof was actually my favorite to actually make. So over here, we're going to do exactly what we did over there. We're just going to copy and paste what exactly we did. Just create a very small balcony. Then we're going to raise this up a little bit, and we're going to put fences around the perimeter as well as going up. And now these right here need to be 3 high. And these over here are also 3 high, so we're good to continue. And also a little tip for you, I tend to count a lot of the blocks which I place twice, because a lot of times if I just do it one time, I mess up. So we have to count twice to make sure that we are good. So that's a tip for you. Now over here, we're going to want to do a few stairs, and we're going to do a slight slope going up. Like so. And as well as over here. And then after we have that, we're going to break these two, and then we're going to place an upside down staircase to give it a little bit of that depth of feel. And we're going to do that to the other side as well. And also here's another tip for you. To save you time on traveling back and forth from one end of the build to the other end of the build, I highly recommend installing a few mods like FreeCam and other ones, because FreeCam allows you to kind of enter spectator mode a little bit and kind of fly around, but it does have its limitations. So just bear in mind, I use it a lot for my building and it saves me a lot of time. As well as I also use Litematica, and Litematica allows you to create your own schematic inside of survival or creative mode, and it lets you kind of use it as a guide to kind of copy and paste, but also to build the builds which you create inside of creative mode over to survival. And I will do a video dedicated to a lot of the client-side mods that are just quality of life stuff, so stay tuned. Anyways, it looks like we're good right now on this section of the roof line, so let's continue. But before we continue, it's actually easier if we just do it from the inside. So we're going to do a temporary block, a staircase right there, a temporary block right there, and a block right there. And then we're going to copy what we did over here. So temporary block, permanent block, temporary block, permanent block. And that's going to give a little bit of that sense of blending. And now we're going to delete this, put a staircase there, delete this, delete that, put a staircase there. And we're going to put a trapdoor right there. And then put a trapdoor right there as well. And now we're going to put 2 blocks this way. And then we're going to put trapdoor, trapdoor. And then we're going to add another row of blocks. And we're going to put trapdoors right there. And then flip them. And then right here is where we're going to continue. And so we're just going to continue this all the way over until it hits that side. And perfect. There we go. And we're just going to copy what exactly we did over there, over here. So let's repeat. Temporary block, permanent block, temporary blocks, permanent block, and then the permanent block. Now we're going to delete these. And then we're going to do a staircase like we did over there. There we are. And then we're going to delete these blocks and make them permanent ones. And then trapdoor. And then we're going to add a staircase right there. And then we're going to add a block right there, to which we're going to be adding the trapdoors on, like so. And then we're going to just connect these for the time being. And then as for right here, we are just going to connect these with using stone stairs. And if you are doing everything correct, these stairs should just connect. And now mind you, these ones will not, because it's kind of jonky. So let's just continue doing over here what we did over there. And now I designed this build so that everything would be slightly easy and you would kind of recognize that everything kind of flows together to where there's not really a lot of confusing stuff to do. Like, I think the only confusing part is just the stairs and trying to position the stairs correctly, because stairs can honestly be a pain. But after a while, you just get used to it and you kind of lose yourself in creating. That's exactly what I want you to do, is lose yourself in building, because Minecraft is a game where you build a lot of the stuff. More of these stairs to connect everything. Block right there. And so far it's looking pretty dang well. It's looking pretty finished. Now over here, let's just continue with this wall. Like so. And now over here, we're going to finalize the chimney. And so with the chimney, I tend to just make it very, very minimalistic. I tend to do this and I tend just to go straight up. And right here needs a slab because that looks wonky. But as far as the height of the chimney, you can go however big you want it. But here's a little hack for you. If you do staircases like this, it kind of gives you that little bit of a smokestack. And as well as if you do it like this, it kind of curves it a little bit. And it kind of gives it more of this shape. And now over here, let's do this wall really fast. So all I'm doing is I'm just bringing this over here. And it seems like this wall is relatively simple. It just has a frame that looks like so. So we're going to just connect all of these. But it does look like it does actually have a too high window, so we're going to leave that open for the window, but we're just going to cover this because this is actually going to be the storage room, but this section right here actually jumps out. So let's add that. But if you are making this inside of survival mode, feel free to experiment with different types of storage areas within this house. And then as far as the remaining of this section right here, this also has a small window. So I'm going to break these blocks. So we're going to do that. And then we're going to do this right here, that right there, that right there. And now we're going to go 1 and then 2, to which we're going to put a line of staircases until we hit that right there. And now this has a line of planks. This also has a line of planks. And then this just has a line of fences. Then add more planks. And then it looks like this also had a spruce stair. So that's technically what the official roof line as well as the walls look like. And as far as this side doesn't actually have that cool looking window. So this house is entirely done. Now let's just add some slight detail. Give me 1 second. And now as far as the detailing stage goes, I tend to stay with the family. So for the detailing, I'm going to be just using mossy and then cobblestone. And now as far as the tuff goes, as you can tell that tuff doesn't really blend well with the regular variety of the stone. So let me show you guys exactly what I mean as far as doing this. So if I were to add tuff here, tuff to me looks slightly too green or too blue, but next to mossy, it still doesn't look correct. So I honestly feel like tuff would not work for this build. And now mind you, you're probably curious on how exactly do I know that. It's the thing of color theory and also block palettes, which I will have linked inside of the description below if you want to check that out. But that video just kind of tells you a little bit about what colors and what blocks go well to each other. Mainly, is the good rule of thumb is that blocks that are part of the same family go well. And those are kind of your easy ones to just use. So I'm going to sprinkle in a little bit of cobblestone as well as the mossy cobblestone. So let me do that and I'll show y'all after I'm done. There you have it for the roof. And now for as the detailing phase or as the texture phase, I just basically randomized it. Now as far as adding texture to the wood itself, it's kind of tricky, but usually what I like to do is I tend to get stairs and I tend just to kind of put them scattered around the build. And usually I tend to do this around the window so that it kind of gives it a little bit of that depth as if it's going in. And I also tend to just put random bits and pieces of stairs, make it look as if it's like slowly caving in or that is kind of breaking apart from that flatness. Because as far as the flatness goes, we don't really want flatness. So I tend just to do this around the build. But feel free to experiment and let me know what kind of styles you tend to use. And then as far as this section right here, let's add these windows finally because windows are great. Here we go. So far, so good. And then over here, let's add a small little support beam because I feel like it looks kind of odd without it. And then let's just do a little staircase right there and staircase right there to make it look as if it's giving some support. And then let's fill this in because I oddly enough forgot it. And then let's add just a little bit of these fences around the down portion of the build. And we also cannot forget about bushes and also decorating the outside of the base. So let's do that really fast. And now I did kind of speak about terraforming for bases inside of another video, but I tend to just use bushes for my terraforming skills, make everything look nice. And a lot of the stuff like this I just bring down so that it's flush. And what I'm doing here is I'm just trying to have small clusters of bushes or leaves around here so that it looks as if it's getting slightly more green. There you go. And also let's add some of these plants in. And then let's also bone meal the ground to get flowers and other stuff in. Yep, I would say this is looking pretty well. Now, as far as the inside goes, I will have the inside have its own video because it might take slightly a while for me to do the inside. Here's a little sneak peek of the inside, just for you amazing people. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video and hopefully this helped you in some way. If it did, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe. And let me know what you think inside the comments below. See you on the next video. Bye bye!